Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Dominique here with another quick video, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a camshaft actuator solenoid on a 2006 Chevy HHR. Tools needed: flathead screwdriver, ratchet and extension, 10mm socket, and some pliers. First thing you want to do is remove this air box holding your air filter. You can either remove this hose on the side, but I'm just going to take a flathead screwdriver and remove the intake hose, and I'm going to remove that hose on the side, and it'll come straight up. Alright, if you look up under that intake hose, you can use a flathead screwdriver and loosen the clamp. Also, you'll need to disconnect the mass airflow sensor. So now use the flathead screwdriver to disconnect this intake hose. You can just wiggle it up. You can remove this hose from the side. Mine's not held in tight. Okay, it's time to replace that hose though. Now, this cord right here, when you look up under here, that's the mass airflow sensor. So you just want to disconnect it. That way you won't tear anything. All right, disconnect it. And as you can see, the whole thing comes up. This is the solenoids, actuators that need to be replaced. And you can't see the labels on the side because mine's so dirty from oil. But the one in the front is the intake. The back is an exhaust. Now the code I got says that I need to replace the intake. But since I'm under here, and I got both of them for a deal, so I might as well replace both of them. When you're matching them up, remember which one you're going to use, because some people disconnect them both and then go back and get the other pair and be like, okay, I don't know which way goes which. Now, some people might ask, can you put the wrong one in there? I have no clue. I never tried, so I'm going to change this part one at a time. Like I said, it's a pretty old car. Mine's already beat up, so I just took a flathead screwdriver, pressed it in on a tab, pull it up. Now, I just need to go get a socket, unscrew that. So I need a ratchet, extension, and a 10mm socket to remove them screws. Alright. So I had to get a flathead screwdriver to pick that screw out, but you know when I lose it, just separate it. Alright, so if anybody question on how exactly do you remove this, yeah, it'd be a little stubborn, a little tight to get it off, but if you can get some wire pliers, grips, anything to be able to grip that, try not to break this, the little plastic that the harness connect to, the connector, and just wiggle it left and right, and it'll eventually come up. See? And that's this actuator for the intake. I'm gonna go inside and get the other actuator for the intake, and then I'm gonna do the exhaust. All right, so I got this off Amazon, nice little discount. This is labeled intake and exhaust, so you can't go wrong. Remember, the intake is in the front, exhaust in the back. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna do the same thing for the exhaust, but I'm not gonna record it. I don't want to have a long video. Whatever you do, don't let your screw fall down in this hole. You need the hole. Alright, so first I'm going to get the one that says exhaust and put it in the back. Then tighten the screw up with my 10mm socket. So what I did was put the exhaust in first, and now I'm going to tighten it up with the 10mm socket. Make sure it's pushed all the way down, because mine's was sticking up a little bit, but make sure it's pushed all the way down before you tighten the screw up. Another tip, just tighten it down good enough. Don't over tighten it because it will break. Do not over tighten it. And the next one says intake. So you do the same thing. Put this solenoid in, this actuator in, and tighten it up with a 10mm socket. So now I got that in. Everything's tightened up. So you just want to feel for the harness on the left. That plugs into the exhaust. And feel for the harness on the right. That plugs into the intake. All right, now that everything's connected, let's finish the process. All right, so it's time to put the airbox back. As you can see, I kept my word. I changed that rackety hose. All right, so I put the hose back in, make sure everything's tight. And you want to get this mass airflow sensor plugged in. As you can see, it's plugged in. Pushing it until you hear snap. And finally, you want to take your intake hose, push that in, flathead screwdriver, tighten it up from the side. And as you can see, everything is running fine. And that's how you change the camshaft, intake, and exhaust actuators on solenoids on a 2006 Chevy HHR. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, people.